Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we need to do some repairs here, no doubt about that, and we're going to have the Argo upgrade done very soon as well. So let's tick on forward. Do we want to pay off Brick's debts for 2 million C-bills? That is insane. We'll do it, but I'm not happy about it. We are very, very not happy about that one. Okay, so we'll pay off the debt. That's really not great, but I don't want to leave this planet. That was the other real option, was leave the planet. And I don't want to leave the planet. This is a good planet for us to be at. So we're just going to have to make that money back. And we're going to dock Brick's pay if we could, you know? That's definitely a thing that I would do over that one. So there's our financial report as well. That was always going to hit there. And that, of course, means that Brick's debts, unfortunately, wiped out everything we earned from last mission. Which is gross. Now, the Medbay 3 is now done. We still have 7 days on the Grasshopper and 5 on the Trebuchet. I want to get an engineering upgrade going here, although our funding is low, thanks to Brick. This is very expensive, and I'm going to do it. We are really getting low on funds now. So we're down below 4 million, and that's definitely concerning. I just went into the store. Why did I go into the store? We're not going into the store. I want to tick forward a couple more days and get that Grasshopper done, and that, of course, means everything else is done. So at this point, let's hop into our barracks, and let's get Brick promoted. I really wish we could dock his pay for that one.
Ready for orders.
But unfortunately, we cannot. And for the rest of these, Romeo can get a point of guts, and that's about it. Okay, well, that'll do for now. So let's hop into the command center, and let's see what we want to do. We want something with high pay that we can get in and get out. That's the idea. How viable will that be, though? I don't know. Well, that's about 3 million here. It's an urban battle against Word of Blake, against Word of Blake. That's maybe a little bit rough. Force go. A secondary lance of mechs. This is too much. I don't want to do this at this time. This is too risky. As an alternative, we could look at either one of these. This is a blackout mission. This is a battle against Comstar. Or actually, against Word of Blake. Interesting. Nearby forces to close on our position. We would prefer that they didn't, but we do need to make money. No doubt about it. We could just go with this blackout. 400 ton? Probably. We could probably get in and out on this pretty easily. Salvage is likely not going to be a big deal here. We could sit about here and get 2 million C-bills and at least pay off what Brick cost us. So we could certainly do that. So at this point, obviously, our tonnage is a little bit problematic at this point. We're going to end up dropping the Wraith in favor of the Grasshopper. That makes our tonnage more problematic, not less problematic. So the question then is, what do we want to avoid dropping here? We can only drop 6 units. So which do we want to not bring? I think the Rifleman is a good target to not bring here. And then beyond that, we are below the weight limit now. But we still need to drop 1 more unit. So the question becomes, which one do we drop? Definitely not the Centaur. I'm kind of thinking the Hoplite. We could do something like this. I feel like that would be pretty decent. Yeah, let's do it. This should be absolutely fine. Darius thinks it'll be hard. I actually don't. I think this should go pretty well, all things considered. So there we go. I would like to use up those 60 tons, but we're drop count limited, right? I'll see you guys after the loading screen. Okay, so here we are all loaded up, and let's see how this ends up going. Oh, this is going to leave an empty slot here, right. Yeah, that's not great, but it's fine. Okay, so let's see where the enemies are and how many enemies there are as well. I do see a heavy bomber from our allies over there, so that's going to be exciting. But we can just head down this road, looks like, and that'll be absolutely okay.
Moving to position.
Let's go see what we've got over here.
Confirmed.
So we can send our centaur down over this way for now. And otherwise, everybody else will just come on through here. I do wish that we were able to bring all 8 units, but it's fine. So our first target position is going to be down over here. That's quite a journey, no doubt about that. What is that path going to look like, even? It's very rough terrain up over here. No, ooh, that was quite a hitch there. Okay, we're going to head up over here. We'll just see what this ends up looking like. We'll try to scout this out as best we can. So it'll be up over here with our centaur, and that is, of course, going to be our scouting unit for this particular mission. So we do see turrets down here right now. We could head out over this direction. I don't love the rough terrain over here. Alternatively, how are we going to end up getting there, though? We just could pass through the rough terrain, like, before we end up popping anything. That's probably going to be our best bet here. So that would mean heading up over this direction, like so. And just making sure that everybody passes through here before we trigger anything up over this way. It's very dark, very foggy, but we'll see what we've got going on up here. Eventually. As soon as the Steiners, you know, finish moving around. There we go. So next up is going to be our Shadowhawk heading up over here. Our Grasshopper starting to move through the rough terrain. Yeah, we can definitely get through the rough terrain, I think, before anything significant happens here. So we can position our Centaur up over here. We need 2 units up there to trigger it.
On the way.
So the second one will probably end up being the Shadowhawk. We want to keep a lot of these larger mechs a bit further back anyway, so it's probably okay. And apparently Steiner's actually coming with us for once. Remarkable. Let's just put the Shadowhawk about here for now. That'll do, and we'll just continue to advance with the Grasshopper, with the Apollo, with the crossbow, and the Centaur at this point can come down over here. Okay, I see the path that we'll have to take. Yeah, that's not necessarily ideal, but it's fine. So what do we have going on up here is the question. Are we going to have to fight these turrets? We'll find out. We definitely want to make sure that our crossbow is at least here before we pop this. So let's see what ends up happening here. So we can position somewhere around here or so with the Shadowhawk. That's going to be a little slower than the Centaur for sure. But broadly, I think everybody can just continue to come along here for now. So the Centaur is going to just position right up over here, and that's going to be one of our 2 sitrep units. I guess we just need to establish contact with the Royal. This is not an established sitrep. This is a bit of an unusual feeling mission already. Actually, hang on. This is the next facility, isn't it? I do see that there's a turret here. Probably. Which is not the worst thing, actually. Let's just position our Shadowhawk out over here. The Grasshopper can go here for now. I'm going to put the Apollo up here. And unfortunately, we're not in position up here just yet. But the Black Knight can position here. There we go. And now we can see what's going on with the Shadowhawk as soon as the Steiners finish their movement here. I'm actually kind of impressed with how the Grasshopper is kept up with the Shadowhawk here. But let's get our sitrep. Okay. Drop pods. Gotcha. So, these are allied turrets. This is a Hunchback here, 4 SP. We see a Saladin. Okay, that thing's probably got to go. It's rocking an AC-20. A UAC-20 on this Blitzkrieg. That thing can die very quickly to our Centaur. So that should be okay. And then we've got this Drillson out over here. So I kind of want our Grasshopper to stick behind this Hunchback.
Onward.
This Apollo I'm going to put up over here for now. The crossbow we're going to close in up over this way. The Centaur is absolutely going to look for rear arc behind this Blitzkrieg. We have spawn protection right now, of course, but we're going to position here. Okay, spawn protection has now been removed. I see that they're moving relatively late. Phase 13, 14, and 16. Okay. Should be fine. Should be absolutely fine. These two are the priority targets. So we've got this Blitzkrieg here. It does have 12 evasive, having just dropped it. Let's see what we've got if we were to hit this guy rear arc. So a physical weapon rear arc hit here would have what hit odds? 21.7% chance. I think we risk this. I don't want to take that UAC-20 hit, and it has such little rear armor here. 50% hit odds aren't the worst thing in the world.
Confirmed.
Let's give it a go.
To hell with the weapon.
We did miss the melee. That was only a 20% chance. We do expect that.
Ah, missed.
We crit the UAC-20 there,
Punch right through
but that was not a great attack. Oh, that was actually, like, as bad as it could have gone. Okay,
Commander?
awkward. Well, the Apollo is, I feel like, a little bit vulnerable to this Saladin. But I also feel like we have to reserve here. And we'll see what our allies do. But this could be very painful. So they're firing on the Drillson C8. Okay, I'm not too concerned about the Drillson, to be honest, although they did manage to tag it. For the moment, that's fine. Okay, what else are they going to do? That's a thumper turret? Okay, that could be very awkward. This Nidhogg is going to move up and go for that Drillson, maybe? Nope, it did nothing at all. So next up is going to be this Saladin, and this AC-20 that it's got could do a lot of damage. We'll see where it decides to shoot. We have some evasive, although we could definitely take a lot of damage on this Apollo. That said, it's not going to immediately eliminate anything. It didn't fire. Where did it move? Down over here? Okay. They're firing on the Blitzkrieg. I don't like this choice. I really don't like that choice. Would have been worse if they had mined it, but whatever. We'll see what ends up happening next. That's going to be this Hunchback moving. The Hunchback goes for the Black Knight and gets a fair amount of damage in there. For the moment, that's okay. We're kind of skylined up there. I'm not shocked that they would go for something like that. So I'm just going to position the Black Knight over here for better stability. And I think we probably fire on the Hunchy here. But we're probably going to look to kill the Hunchy with the Grasshopper. So maybe we actually go for the Drillson. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Target acquired.
We missed literally everything. Okay.
Failed to connect.
Indeed you did. That went poorly. So far, all of this has gone poorly. We'll see. Okay, they're firing on our friend the Maxim APC. We like this choice. That was the Drillson firing there.
Commander?
So next up is our crossbow. The crossbow can advance forward over here.
Coordinates received.
And we can fire on that Drillson. I'm going to fire ER LRMs.
Confirmed.
And we just destroyed the Drillson. Okay, that one went very well. So that is great. Next up is, I think, going to be that UAC-20. We'll see how it goes. We did manage to crit it, so maybe it doesn't get to fire here, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. That UAC-20 is going to do a lot of damage if it hits. I'm hoping that they use it on one of these turrets. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so it does fire on this light standard turret, and look at how much damage that does. It's insane. So at this point, the Shadowhawk can't advance forward over here, it seems. We could absolutely just move up over here
Moving to position.
and fire on the Blitzkrieg. Hit odds are really low here. Failed our censored roll. Okay, fair enough. Let's just take a pot shot here and see what we can get. It's not going to be much.
Copy that.
Honestly, the Blitzkrieg is going to die to the Centaur, so that's relatively okay. I want the Apollo to come down here and start hitting this Saladin.
Target 4. Outlet.
And actually, we just straight up destroy it. That went very well.
Mech
Our missiles have been
destroyed.
extraordinarily effective
They
here,
will be
actually.
done.
Now for the Grasshopper's debut performance here. And what I want is for the Grasshopper, ooh, it doesn't actually get a rear arc position here. That's unfortunate. We can position here, but we can't also melee. Now we've got an AC-20 in this, right? And we're absolutely going to fire it. That's a huge amount of damage to that Hunchback. Unfortunately, the AC-20 didn't core it out there. If we had been able to get... Ooh, that's a good thumper shot, actually. I like that. If we had been able to get that melee position, that would have been a much, much better position. But as it is, it's okay. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up over here very swiftly. We're now going to hit this Blitzkrieg here. Much higher hit odds. It definitely dies. We still miss the melee attack, but it's still going to die here.
That's a clean miss.
And there we go. One dead Blitzkrieg. We'll see if we can get that UAC-20. That would be amazing to get a UAC-20 onto our Grasshopper. I would love that so much. So next up is going to be our crossbow. And the crossbow could position up here, I suppose,
Heading out.
and hit this Hunchback. I mean, the Hunchback is basically gone,
Firing a full cell.
but we'll see what we can get done there. The answer is quite a lot, of course. Oh, that was almost all in the CT there. I'm probably not even going to fire the autocannon again on the Grasshopper. We'll see what the Nidhogg does here. Literally nothing.
Commander?
Okay, the Apollo, honestly, is probably just going to finish the job here.
Copy that, Commander.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, apparently we destroyed somebody's hover car. Okay. So now we need to head to the second settlement because we need to, like, give her a lift. Okay, sure. So the second settlement is just over here. So that's absolutely fine. We'll just make our way up and around.
Yes, Commander.
So our Grasshopper at this point is going to need to sink a little bit of
walking
heat,
here.
and it's going to get that stability back because there was that core meltdown there. That's absolutely fine. And our Shadowhawk is just going to sprint on through the fire.
Copy that.
I'm ready.
Okay, and the Black Knight is, of course, going to turn around and just start heading
Got
up
it,
here. Our
Commander.
fire support might end up getting here first, and that's actually kind of a good thing if they do. So that would be great. We're actually out of combat now, which was expected, and we're just going to start climbing up this hill here.
Coordinates received.
And let's make our way right on over. So at this point, the Centaur needs to make its way
Aye, aye.
around. Hopefully that fire will go out by the time the Centaur is passing through, but if not, we'll take a little bit of armor damage. I'm not too concerned about it. And we'll see what the Steiners do here. They haven't done too much all together at this point. In fact, they've done very little. But that's, you know, expected. Okay, the fire's much better now. I like it. So the Shadowhawk is going to head around over here. The Grasshopper is going to be climbing up. The Apollo is going to advance, as is the crossbow.
Roger.
And then the Centaur is going to work towards catching up. Cool. So we're just going to make our way around here, climb up this hill. All is going to be fine. The Steiners are apparently just going to run around in circles. Sure. That seems right, to be honest. So we're just going to continue to advance here. Our cavalry units are catching up to our fire support units, and that this is ideal. This is how we want this to work. Excellent.
Moving to position.
So we're going to have the second settlement under control shortly. There are turrets up here. We don't know what's going to be going on with the second settlement, but odds are probably pretty good that it's going to end up being a base defense. But we'll see how that goes. So the Steiners are just kind of chilling here. That's fine. We'll continue to advance with our cavalry units. We are basically on par with our fire support now, with our cavalry units.
On my way.
That crossbow is definitely, I think, our slowest mech. But it's decently advanced here, so shouldn't be any major problem. Okay, the Steiners are actually coming with at this point, so that's great. Yeah, no problem whatsoever there. We'll advance with our Shadowhawk up to about here, Grasshopper to about here, Apollo to about here. Okay. We're here to pick up the Noble's dog. Excellent. They couldn't find the dog. This is a very strange blackout mission. Apparently this is now an insurance scam. Uh-huh. So it's an occupying lance. Gotcha. We currently have spawn protection. That is absolutely fine. We need to get off of this rough terrain as soon as we can. So the Black Knight is going to advance up here. Stinger, Griffin, Hunchback, Phoenix Hawk. That is not super threatening. I don't know if these turrets are going to be enemy or not, or even if they're active. I don't think that they are. So the Stinger is going to move first. They should have 12 evasive right now, and indeed they do. Interesting tactic for the Stinger. I'm going to reserve here.
Let him come. I'll be waiting.
If we had control of the Nidhogg, I'd absolutely be looking to drop Nidhogg bombs right here. Unfortunately, I don't believe that we do. This is definitely a very strange blackout mission, though. With missing dogs and noble women's cars and insurance scams. That was actually a pretty good shot, though. I like that. That did end up hitting this Stinger as well. So that's great. Phoenix Hawk and Stinger. I like it. Next up, we're going to reserve again. So at this point, the Nidhogg is moving. And I would love to see the Nidhogg drop bombs on this Hunchback. We'll see if that ends up happening. We're just waiting for these guys to move so that we can start just absolutely obliterating them. They're going for the Stinger? Okay, fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough. That is one super dead Stinger. So we'll take that. Nidhogg actually making itself useful there. Did that do extra damage to the Phoenix Hawk? I'm not sure it did. But sure. One Stinger gone is useful. So the Phoenix Hawk is going to move now. And we'll see what it decides to do. But these guys are not going to last long, that's for sure. It shoots at the Apollo. Does it have Ace Pilot? Because it didn't move first. It must have Ace Pilot. Where's it going to go? Yeah, there's the Ace Pilot. I don't like that position for it. That's within range of our Centaur backstab. I don't think that's a good call.
Got your back.
So, obviously, our Centaur is just going to run in and backstab it, right? Like, that's definitely going to happen here. We're going to position here. And I think the Phoenix Hawk just dies here.
Roger that.
And there it goes. Yeah. Like I said, not a good spot for it. Okay, so next up is going to be our Shadowhawk. But neither of these have moved yet. So I want to reserve here. We're going to allow these two to move. They still have their drop-in evasion, so that's fine. Maximum APC firing on this Griffin, it's not going to get much done with that. Now what's going to be firing here? That is going to be the Hunchback. Okay. That's absolutely fine. So the Hunchback moves up, goes for our Black Knight there. The Black Knight's fine. It's taken a couple of hits, but it'll be okay.
Standing by.
At this point, the Apollo can move in. Or we could position up here. This is still within minimum range of that Hunchback, or not ideal range of the Hunchback. But we would still have, according to this, 60% hit odds on the LRM. Alternatively, we could reserve. And we could let the Griffin move and see what our next option would be. We might have a better choice here. So the Griffin is going to move up, or actually move away, exposing his rear arc to us, and firing on that Thumper turret. Okay, I really don't think that that was a good choice. Sure, the crossbow does not get direct LOS, so we're just going to fire on the Hunchback side arc here, soften it up a little bit. We're not expecting much out of this. And then our Grasshopper does not get LOS either, so the Grasshopper will have to sprint forward. Beyond that, our Shadowhawk can position up over here.
Affirmative.
I want to fire on this Griffin. Although I don't love where the Centaur is for that, but it should be okay, I think. Yeah. If we had stray shotted the machine guns, that could have potentially be bad, but we didn't, so that's good. So at this point, the Black Knight can come in and hit the rear arc of this Griffin.
On my way.
And that is indeed the plan.
Firing full power on enemy.
Nice softened up rear arc. I like it. The Griffin does not like it, for the record. The Griffin is very upset about that. And we're going to move our Apollo up to about here. Continue to hit the Griffin. Is this a strong side? This is a weak side. I like it.
10-4.
That's a lot of damage into that Griffin.
Something good.
So the Griffin is now unsteady. Turrets coming online. They're friendly. Okay.
Talk to me.
Sure. Not that we need it. I'm going to position the Centaur here, and we're going to take out this Hunchback. I think it dies here. Yeah, it should. We really hit out on the sides rather than in the CT. So that was not the best shots on that Hunchback. We really damaged it from the outside in. However, it's fine. The Hunchback will definitely not survive long. So the Harris Hawk is moving up and going for the side arc on that Hunchback, which I guess is okay. That'll be a knockdown. That could destroy the Hunchback, actually, with the fall damage from the knockdown, but I don't think it will. Okay, that actually all hit armor. So no rear arc available on that. I don't love that, then. Okay. Unfortunately, the Griffin gets to move now. The Griffin rolled quite well for its initiative there, but that's fine. Shoots at our Centaur with a large pulse laser. Our Centaur doesn't care, so that's absolutely fine. And next is going to be our Shadowhawk. The Shadowhawk can move in and hit this Hunchy, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I want to melee this Hunchy. We can't hit its rear arc because it's knocked down, but we can melee it, and the Hunchy is not going to be happy about this. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pilot ejection, or if the Hunchback just dies. Yeah, there's that pilot ejection. Fantastic. That is the right call, to be honest. That pilot was on 1 HP, so absolutely they should. The Maxim HP firing on the rear arc of the Griffin there, that's a good shot. I would have taken that same roll, probably. And actually made him unsteady, so that's absolutely great. The Apollo is not really who I want to move here. I want to move the Black Knight, because the goal here is for the Black Knight to get in behind the Griffin, kick it rear arc, and just finish the job.
Roger that.
Let's finish this. That's a leg destruction.
Scored a critical hit.
And that is one dead Griffin. I like it.
Target eliminated.
Phenomenal. Okay, we're bringing Henriette in on charges of murder and other illegal activities. I don't know if We'll let the Steiners handle her from here. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if the dog was murdered or I didn't pay that close of attention to the story in that one, and I kind of regret that, to be honest. I caught bits and pieces of it here, and I'm like, this is a weird one. I've never seen that particular Blackout mission before, and that one was wild. I mean, it was a very standard Blackout mission in the way that it played out, right? But the story of it, that was a little wild. So we took a little bit of damage there, but really not too much. What do we get from salvage? I mean, it's okay. A couple of Artemis 4 attachments. Double heatsink kit. That's always a good thing. Flak AC-20 ammo. We might want to take flak AC-20 ammo and the double heatsink kit here. And then just see what else we get. Unfortunately, that UAC-20 did not show up, but let's see what else we get. Okay, some decent parts here. An internal combustion engine. A couple more tons of AC-20 ammo. Sure, we'll keep that around. Not too bad. Not too bad. And of course, we got pretty good pay for that, too. So that'll pretty much cover the expenditure that we made into Brick's debt. That is a lot of expenditure, to be sure. But we could afford it, and so I think it's okay. This will cover that. We've still got to cover our financial report from last month, our financial report for this month, and the expenditure that we made on the med bay. I don't know that we're going to get that all done this month, but this is a good start. We did not take all that much damage, so we'll be able to redeploy very quickly. And yeah, 9 days for repairs. It's not going to actually take 9 days either. So this is absolutely great. Technically, we can deploy without the Black Knight as soon as we get our mech warriors back. We'll see if we want to do that next episode, though. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.